I try to fit in these work reform stories as much as possible. I think Peter's coming around. They are among my favorite topics, and we have talked several times about quiet quitting. We talked last week, Peter and I, about being actively disengaged from work. Now we're talking about this new buzzword of quiet constraint. And basically, the idea is it's kind of the next level of quiet quitting where you hold back from volunteering otherwise helpful information from coworkers. I think this is evidence of how blurry the line is between the idea of quiet quitting being a principled thing where you're still doing your best work, you're just not going above and beyond, to actively disengaged where you are either not doing work at all or doing things to sabotage the work. I think quiet constraint probably falls pretty solidly in the latter category. But let's hear what Peter thinks on today's Not So Critical update.
Now, when you say favorite topics, I will admit that I've decided to just lean into the whole thing of okay, we're talking about workers and workers' rights and all that shit now. So fine, yeah, let's do
Because
it.
I
Let's
keep
fucking do it.
putting these articles in.
Yeah, yeah, you wore me down, man. You wore me down. But it is a bit uh yeah, okay, let's just leave it there.
What I really want is
Quiet
the
constraint. No.
political stories. So this is my ever so
Oh, it's the
slowly
stepping
inching us in
stone,
that
is it?
direction. Soon it'll
It's
just
the
be the not
gateway
so political
subject.
update.
Oh, Mike's dream. Um, I think no. This is definitely like kind of if you're quiet quitting. John and I have always defended this as being like just doing what you're paid to do, but quiet constraint is being a dick, kind of. I mean,
Right.
yeah, quiet dicking is what they should call it.
It's-
Yeah, like I don't know if you know something that could help someone else out and it's not going to harm you or cause you any stress to tell them about
right.
it, then fucking say it. Like
Yeah.
Jesus, man, what's wrong with you?
Because you could argue, I'm not trying to create work for myself by volunteering things that I'm not involved in. But this is saying, hey, I know somebody needs this. I know it and could easily give it to them. And I'm just not going to.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I think on the other side, though, on the flip side, though, I think it speaks to people's growing dissatisfaction. Maybe if this is true, for one thing, I mean, I saw the article and I'm always a bit skeptical about some of these because I've read some of the quiet quitting articles and thought bullshit. Like that doesn't sound right at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And I
There's
think,
definitely going to be people who are like, "Fuck this job. I'm going to just sulk."
oh, and
Basically.
part of the point they make is these are people who probably want to quit the job, but don't think they have other prospects for getting a different or a better job. And so they're basically to collect the paycheck. And who knows how long I mean, you could do that for, I'm sure, a pretty long time before anyone notices in a lot of situations. I think the I feel like I criticize the idea of quiet quitting, and I said this when I did my rants a couple weeks ago. I do think if somebody is taking this approach that they are doing themselves and the employer a disservice. However, it's entirely likely, certainly more than possible. I don't know if so much as probable that the company has a toxic culture and shit leadership. And I don't know if I'd go
Yeah.
so far as to say deserves it anyway, but certainly they are reaping what they sow. So,
You want it to you want to say. I mean, repeat what they say is saying they deserve it in not so many words, right? In more words, actually.
well, to
Um,
say they earned it, I think is different to say that they deserved it.
okay, yeah, all right, but isn't
I don't know.
I'm not. Is
Maybe
it
it doesn't
different?
matter.
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
we get what you're saying. I don't know, man. I've been at jobs before where I've been like just severely unhappy and sort of obnoxious, especially when I was younger. When I was, in my 20s, I was a bit of a I mean, I suppose I probably am still a bit of a prima donna, but just especially in the tech industry where it feels like you can just get another job really
Yeah.
easily. Um, when people treat you like shit, the reaction from sulky little twats like I was, or maybe sometimes still am, is to just go, huh, and to sulk basically. And doesn't really help anybody at the end of the day. It doesn't help you, doesn't help the company, but it feels good
Well, I
sometimes.
think there's a difference between saying, look, there's a lot of demand for what I do. And if you won't give it to me, I'll go someplace else. I think that's
Yeah,
totally legitimate. Like, that's how the free market, that's the whole point of the free market. Despite employers saying, oh, these employees feel so entitled. Employees feel entitled. How do employers feel? You want me to work for shit wages just because you have decided that I don't have any better options? Um, but that's not always the market. So maybe the different in a good market, if you're in demand, yeah, be a prima donna. If the market changes and you suddenly don't have those options, then to some extent sucks to be you, I guess. But
do you know what though? I think. Sorry, I was going to say. Sorry,
no, go ahead.
I
Go
cut you
ahead.
off there?
I was running out of steam
Um,
anyway.
but which is very
I mean,
unlikely.
I could
You
have kept
went for a
talking
whole
for
episode.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, okay. the, the
Don't
the
get me
the whole
wrong.
quiet thing. We've had quiet constraint, quiet quitting. We've had. Was there another one? There was another quiet something or other.
We talked about the
I'm sure there was.
disengagement. I don't remember if there was another.
I this quiet
Yeah.
something or other. I think quiet constraint is another word for sulking. That's my.
Uh, mm, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Why the hesitation? I think
I
it's
mean,
just right.
you could be sulking and still be doing your job. I think it speaks more to the. Uh, I guess. So this idea of quiet constraint sounds more like intentional sabotage.
Okay, it's sulking that you want to get noticed. I don't
I
know.
guess,
Like, what's
and
the good if?
it's like all these things make sense. I understand why this happens. I understand why employees do this. I understand why they feel this way. Um, the companies, you know, probably deserve it in a lot of cases, but it really is kind of a chicken and the egg type problem where the employees are saying, I get treated like shit, so I'm going to do less work. And the companies are saying, oh my gosh, our employees are becoming less productive. We need to crack down even more, which is the wrong response. I would say that the company is the one responsible for that. But I think what I said, the last time we had a major discussion about this, is the employees aren't, I think, in a lot of cases, doing themselves any favors by taking this approach. You
I
could
think you're
say,
right.
"Hey, we've done what we can do," and the company gets what they get. There have been a lot of articles about productivity dropping recently. I saw a big story about that yesterday. I don't even think I clipped it. I should find that and put it in our Discord server. Um, and on one hand, you look at that and say, well, since the '80s, productivity has been skyrocketing while wages stay the same. So now, if productivity is going down, maybe it's just the system correcting itself. Why don't you try paying people what they're worth and see what happens?
Yeah.
We know in the face like right now around the world we're facing high inflation rates, and studies show that 50 to 60% of that is driven by excess corporate profits. So put that money back in the pockets of your fucking employees and maybe they'll behave better. Like, I don't understand what's the secret here. They're just spoiled because they've gotten away with it for so many years, and now they're like, well, why are my employees acting this way? Because you've been fucking
Yeah.
stealing them for stealing from them for the past 40 or 50 years.
Well, I think that's so you were saying before that these employees aren't doing themselves any favors, and you're right. But I mean, it's not about what's logical. That's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely,
It's a
absolutely.
totally emotional behavior. I think
And
that's
I
why I equate
guess
it with
maybe
sulking
it
to
is
the frame.
logical. I had a guy I worked with who used to say, "Put the pain where the problem is." So if the company's going to treat me like shit, then they can pay me for it for not doing anything. But I'll treat them like shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, if you don't have any
maybe
other options, and
yeah.
you, if you feel constrained, then act constrained. I don't know.
Right. So now are we both on
But
board with quiet constraint? I don't know. I don't think so.
no. I don't think so. I just think that it's a version of sulking. It's a sort of active sulking where you're just like fuck 'em, and you kind of want to get noticed in a way because you're angry and you're pissed off and you don't have any other options, so you're stuck where you are, and that's it. It's there's not many other outlets, right? There's not. You could go and even quiet quitting in doing what your job still feels wrong sometimes to me. That's how it feels to me. It's like I'm being treated badly and there I don't have an outlet for this other than to just I can just do my job and quiet quit, but then i'm not I'm not getting my own back, am I? I'm not getting any kind of revenge.
Yeah.
I've been treated like shit, and my employer doesn't respect me. So I can do my job, but I'm still actually doing them a favor in that, in a sense. Like it's still an equitable
Yeah.
partnership here, and it's not equitable because I'm being treated badly. So then that kind of the thing is, though, is this a new thing or is it just headlines? Something they put a label on just and talked about because of this whole
Yeah,
quiet quitting
I'm
thing.
sure it's not a new thing. And from what you just said, I also was thinking about, research over and over and over shows that people don't leave jobs generally because of money. Like you might switch
They
job
live
because
managers.
they leave because of managers, or they leave because of lack of fulfillment in doing the work. And disengaging, quiet quitting, quiet constraining, active disengagement, it is kind of stealing from yourself the opportunity to find fulfillment in the work. Again,
Yeah,
it's a response to being treated like shit, so I get it. But I don't know. I
yeah,
guess I should probably take the stand because I like the movement towards workers' rights. I like the movement towards increased pay. I'm for increasing the minimum wage. I'm totally cool with convenience stores not being open 24/7 so that I can get a pack of gum at midnight if I feel like it on a whim. Yes, there are legitimate reasons why they want maybe construction workers first thing in the morning, someplace to get breakfast. Like, I get it, but we can live without having all these things at our beck and call 24/7 just because it's
well,
convenient for
well,
me.
were we not literally just talking like yesterday, talking about you ordering things on Amazon every
Oh,
day?
yeah,
So
absolutely. Because it's there. Like, yeah, I take advantage of it, but I don't need it.
yeah,
It's
true.
probably bad for the economy. It's definitely bad for the environment. Uh, I shouldn't have that option for sure.
All right. Can I just gonna finish off with anybody who's watching, please subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe
Yeah.
button and just
Even
ignore
if you
us.
watch the show and see it in your feed, subscribe
Yeah,
anyway because it actually does help the algorithm and get the show.
and it helps us. It
Feel
helps
better about
us.
ourselves. It validates us.
Yeah.
We actually had
Please.
somebody in Discord talk about the discrepancy between some of the shows that have a lot of views and some of the shows we do that don't get many views. And he was saying, like, I watched this show. It's a good show. I don't know why nobody, it didn't get as many views as as some of these other episodes, which is totally true. I asked the same question, but I think a lot of it
Yeah, we
has to do with the algorithm. Like if you like the content, like the videos, subscribe to the show. It'll help us out, and we'll keep putting out more content
yeah.
for you.
We should do a show on just that because we have no idea.
We have no
We've been
idea.
struggling for like a year trying to figure out what is it that people like about
I
certain
know.
episodes and other ones. No, not a fucking clue.
Yeah.
Like seriously,
Because we'll go through like,
staring
oh,
at these.
our work
Yeah,
reform shows always do really well, except then we do one that's a flop. Oh, people are
yeah,
super
and it's
interested
funny.
in security breaches. Oh, nope, there goes another one. Like,
Yeah,
we don't know what the pattern is.
and the number of YouTube videos we've watched that are all about, oh, this one weird trick to boost your YouTube stats, or like how
We
to
do every one of those
hyper
things.
analyze your hyper analyze the titles, the thumbnails, the
Yeah,
about it's
it's
yeah,
black
no.
magic. You
I
just
mean
need the algorithm
it's
to
a
like you.
it's a good thing it's fun because it would have been a lot of work for nothing otherwise. Yeah.